Welcome to Culture Wire. I'm your host, Meg Schiffler. On this episode, we're going to take a trip to the Museum of Craft and Folk Art to check out their latest exhibition, vaudeville.
Welcome to Culture Wire. This month we turn our eye on one of the gems of San Francisco, the Museum of Craft and Folk Art. And here to join me today to talk about the museum and its vision and its activities is its director, Jennifer McCabe.
Hi.
So we are sitting in an exhibition that is currently on view through January called Vaudeville, Mexican Folk Art and Play.
The idea was to bring about some traditional folk arts, but invite contemporary artists who were kind of playing with those traditions.
It really just was eye-opening how some of these artists, like Eduardo, is it? Sarabillas, uses traditional folk art methods, but with very strong contemporary themes in them.
I find it really inspiring how these artists are interested in what's happening in the contemporary art world, but they're very tied to their roots, where the traditions come from. So with Eduardo, he uses the tradition of Talavera pottery, which is a long tradition in Mexico. It's blue and white traditionally pottery, and we're exhibiting about 150 plates out of a total of 350 in the complete work. He works directly with the craftspeople who make Talavera pottery, and he does the drawings and has them reproduce the drawings on the plates. The images refer to the kinds of drugs that go across the border, that are smuggled across the border. So really referring to the economy in Mexico and what's happening now, and kind of what is on people's mind.
Another one of your artists uses a traditional serape, and then sort of unweaves it and creates an amazing geometric form.
Right, and it's beautiful because it's something so simple that you kind of take for granted, and then he creates something so phenomenal from the very simple means, which is often how folk art works, right? People use very humble materials and create something really beautiful from that. So Adrian Esparza is the artist. He's from El Paso, and he came to San Francisco and brought his serape and a loose plan of what he wanted to install. He unravels the thread and winds it onto spools, and then creates this wall piece, referential to maybe minimalist painting, kind of really beautiful artwork. And he keeps the serape hanging on the wall because he doesn't use all the thread, so he uses about half of it to create a 30-foot long piece. I think a lot of the works in the exhibition actually use very simple materials in unexpected ways, and that's what makes them so engaging. Maximo Gonzalez, he's an artist based in Mexico City, and he uses devalued currencies to create wall tapestries. By using the devalued currency, he's making a political statement about the Mexican economy now.
Now, the other intriguing connection that I know exists and that I wanted us to explore a little bit in this interview is the connection with the Mexican Museum, which is also in the not too distant future going to become a neighbor here in the Yerba Buena Center. So one of your artists, Armando, has selected objects from the Mexican Museum's collection.
They have an amazing collection, I think over 12,000 objects. So they let us into the shelves to browse through their folk art collection. And Armando discovered a lot of vessels that refer to eating and drinking and dining. So we ended up choosing those objects and have them displayed in the museum. And it's colorful, it's meaningful. It leaves a little space for you to think about where Mexico is today and also where it came from. A lot of the objects from the collection come from Covarrubias, the artist Covarrubias, and someone who supported folk art for decades in Mexico and really explored the history of those traditions.
Now, one of the things I want to make sure that our listeners and viewers know where to find you.
So the Museum of Craft and Folk Art is located on Yerba Buena Lane, which is a pedestrian walkway that connects Mission and Market Streets between 3rd and 4th. So we're immediately adjacent to the Contemporary Jewish Museum. Our space is relatively small, so it's easy to pair with another museum visit. We generally have 4 exhibitions a year. We have no collection, no permanent collection, so we're more like a Kunsthal, so we have temporary revolving exhibitions, which is great because we can be very fresh and innovative at will. We showcase a lot of local artists, so you're kind of helping to support artists when you shop here, which is feel good all around.
So Jennifer, I know that every month the Museum of Craft has a special event that takes place where the public can get involved. Could you talk about what the series is?
We try to enliven the space by our public programs. So we have these monthly events where we invite people to come and not only experience the exhibition, but learn something about what we're presenting in the exhibition and make something for yourself and take it home. So something that's essential to our mission is that handmade aspect.
Fantastic. So Jennifer, thank you for being part of Culture Wire. And we do want to encourage everyone to get to the Museum of Craft and Folk Art to see vaudeville, Mexican folk art at play, until January 16th. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks so much for having me.